Hello everybody, Nortarad here, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the Day of Play that's coming up on the 21st of September, and it's going to be on the map Wastelands. There's no mods needed or anything like that, so I encourage you to disable them. For the best experience in this mission is to turn off all mods and expansions, except for the default ones. There are several versions of Wastelands out there. This is version 3.0. And this is the 404 games, the Renegades Wastelands. Saturday, it's going to be basically build your team base and compete for the missions against other teams and super AI. And what I mean by super AI, these are hypersensitive AI. They will act stupid and stand out in the open for a certain degree. And as soon as you are notified, then they go into super mode. A couple will try to distract you while others try to flank you. They have deadly accuracy, so watch out for that. And survive and rack up the most points for your team. The mission abilities in this version of Wastelands are all on the list there, and I'll go through it in the video here. I'm not going to go through all that. Server rules, you can plainly see right here. Use your microphone. Text chat is hardly ever seen, and you're usually too busy with your keys doing other objectives and staying alive than to keep typing in text, and others get ticked off when you try to type in text. No age, race, or any discrimination of whatever. No spamming chat or the voice, the VoIP. Don't beat a subject to death. If you have a disagreement, mention it and then drop the subject. Carry on. Let's keep it fun for everybody. The objects and vehicles that you collect, don't say mine, 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 mine. If you're part of Blue Force, then it's your team's vehicle. If you're part of Op Force, then it's part of the Op Force team. Everybody's out there to help everybody. Getting into the subject of help the team members, especially the new players, on how to play not only Arma 2, but Wastelands, for those of you who have played Wastelands before. Use the global channel only to get admin's attention if you find somebody's really getting annoying or whatnot. Otherwise, use the side channel to talk to everybody in your side, group channel to talk to the individuals in your tiny group, or direct chat, obviously, for people directly in your vicinity. If you want to be a lone wolf and do things for yourself and for yourself, then join the independent side. Alrighty? Let's go on and take a look at what we're going to be playing at. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the 21st. Okay, so if you want to join the server for the Day of Play, first off, go into your expansions. Make sure all of your expansions are turned off, except for the default ones, which is the Arma 2 Operation Arrowhead, the Private Military Company Light, and British Armed Forces Light. Okay? Now, to find the server, go into Multiplayer. Down at the bottom, you'll see Filter. Make sure all your defaults are 0 and everything is showing default. Just type in the word Nort. Okay. It'll bring up a few servers here, and you'll notice up here is a KHF Day of Play dedicated server, and it's added in Nortarad's Wasteland just so you can find it easily. Okay. Once you're there, just click on join, and the password is hauska. Hauska. Now that will let you into the server. Okay, once you're in here, You have Blue Force, Op Force, or Independent. Blue Force and Op Force are self-explanatory. Independent, once you join Independent, then you're independent of everybody. Everybody's against you, you're against everybody. Team killing in Blue Force and Op Force, if your team member that you killed does not forgive you, he decides to punish you. After the second punishment, you get shoved over to Independent automatically. Once you are Independent, you are locked Independent, and you cannot join Op Force or Blue Force for the rest of the server run. Off to the right, you'll notice you have all sorts of choices over here to choose from officer, engineer, medic, all that, sniper, that sort of idea. There's no special privileges given to anybody other than medic. You can heal any player up to 75%. Anything more than that, he needs a medic kit or ambulance or a health kit, a medic tent. And engineers can repair vehicles up to 75%. Anything more than that, they need a repair kit or a repair vehicle. So choose wisely at the beginning, because after 3 minutes of joining the game, you cannot switch sides. You are locked in there for as long as this server is up and running. Okay, so you just click OK. You'll be transferred the mission file. It's a 2.5 kilobyte file, so it'll take a while depending on your internet and network connections. So just let that file transfer over so you can play it. And it'll bring you into the loading screen. Okay, this is a map of the area. You are not going to spawn there. That's only a placeholder. But everybody should be familiar with the Chernogorsk map. You can select map. There are no notes, units, everybody that's in the game and what they have, their gear. The players that are in the game. The Renegades information. They're the ones that created this mission. Renegades change log, everything that they've done to the Wastelands changing. Credits, it all goes to the 404 team, team testers, and guidance and assistance. And then you'll be brought into a spawning screen. Now if there's your team members in a town, if you click on towns, they'll show up. You can spawn in those towns if a team member's in those towns. Beacons, if you drop a beacon, that'll show up in the list. You can select a beacon to spawn on. As long as it's on your team, it'll be there. You can select random ground spawn or random halo spawn, and they will randomly select a city for you to spawn in at. Every city has vehicles and objects. Just when you're parachuting, scroll your mouse wheel and say open chute. And it's a steerable chute, so you can steer where your descent takes you. And let's try to not land on a house. Alrighty. So right away, if you scroll your mouse wheel, you'll notice that you have a Lee Enfield to backpack. That's a special backpack for your first life. That's a bonus for staying alive the longest. That means you can place your current primary weapon into your backpack. And that means you can carry a second primary weapon and switch back and forth. So staying alive the longest on your first life is a sort of reward. If you also see, there's a player menu. It'll give you your how much if you're thirsty, hungry, how much cash you have on you, because there are gun stores and general stores. You have all of your choices you'll be spawned in with 2 cans of food, 1 bottle of water. You'll be having an empty fuel can, repair kit, 2 med kits, and a spawn beacon. You can increase and decrease your viewing distance. Group management. Players on your side, you can select them and invite them to your group. Once they accept it, they'll show up along the left-hand side here, so that you can talk on group channel to them. So you have group channel, talk to anybody that's in the square box off to the bottom left. You have side channel, that's talking to everybody in your side, such as Blue Force. Global channel, only use that if you need to get the administrator's attention, and then switch back to your normal channel. Use your microphone, because a lot of text messages will not be seen and will not be registered. So use your microphone. Okay, each village and city have several vehicles, types of vehicles. And as you see, I've just been locked to Blue Force. I cannot switch to Op Force now, so there is no switching back and forth to find out where everybody is, or to get on their radio frequency and listen in. Okay, in the back of every vehicle that spawns in are weapons, gear, and this one just happens to be that, and you'll get binoculars. Some vehicles will have night vision goggles as well. Okay, so you have the G36 on me. Switch to that. And remember our special backpack for being on our first life. I put weapons Lee Enfield. Click on that, and that'll switch over to the Lee Enfield. And you can switch back by selecting that. So you can have 2 primary weapons on your first life. One for long range, one for short range if you so choose. Your gear, you have no backpack. Regular loadout, pistol, and tools. Okay. Oh yeah, I should also mention, in the vehicles, every vehicle will have different weapons, that sort of idea. This one should have a totally different weapon, gear, and this one has an AKS. Also, if you stand at the vehicle, scroll your mouse wheel, you'll notice that you have tow a vehicle and view vehicle contents. Each vehicle will be able to hold extra items, such as this vehicle will be able to hold 10 extra items. And see that field hospital up there? I can go get in this driver. Campfire there too. So building your base, you can collect different items and bring them back to your base. You can get a field hospital. You can get a fire. So if you look at the object, it'll say move this object. If you are moving an object, let your team members know around you, because if you hit them with this object, it will instant kill them. And if they decide not to forgive you because you're an idiot, then you only got 1 more forgive. And if they punish you on both, then you are automatically slipped into the independent side, and you won't be back on that squad because the server will lock you as an independent. Release the object. We'll release it to the contour of the land. And if you release the object horizontally, that's self-explanatory, it'll keep it horizontal. And you also have the load in. If you are close to a vehicle, you can load it in this vehicle to drive it back to your base. So if we view the vehicle contents inside, you'll notice that we have one field hospital. It takes up 5 slots out of 10, so that means we got 5 slots left. So I can load up this campfire if I want. Put out fire. I can take a campfire back to camp. Load in, look at the vehicle, load in object, and it'll disappear, and it is now in vehicle contents. Okay. Oh yeah, remember you were given an empty fuel can? You can siphon gas out of any vehicle, and if you walk up to a gas station, you can fill up your jerry can. Filling up your vehicle, any vehicle, all you got to do is drive to a gas station and it'll automatically fill up your vehicle's fuel can. Okay. Towing vehicle. All you got to do is park in front of a second vehicle. Or in behind. Wow. Okay, get out. So if I want to tow that vehicle with this one, look at the vehicle you want to tow first. Tow vehicle. Look at the vehicle you want to do the towing. Tow the selected object to this vehicle. Now, some of the vehicles will glitch like this and merge into each other. That's alright. It'll still work. One thing of warning is when you untow the vehicle, you look at the vehicle that's being towed, and you can untow the vehicle, but that vehicle will jump back into existence. You can also carry people in here, so this is sort of like a mini bus now. You can get in here, and you got the gear. Get out. So now with a towed vehicle, you're not only bringing a second vehicle back to base, it doesn't have to be the same vehicle, but you now have vehicle contents. You now have 10 slots in that one, and you'll notice that one has 10 slots as well. You also have the regular gear, so you doubled your capacity just in the same vehicle. If I were to tow a Euro behind me, I think that's 50 slots in the object contents. And of course, I think it's 50 slots for gear as well. So if you were towing one of them with your UAZ, then that's even better. Okay, driving is just the same as if you're driving a single vehicle. There's no weight added, and you don't have to worry about that vehicle being damaged or anything by clipping buildings. That image is only a placeholder, so it'll go through. You can load the big objects like this, take that back to your base, fences, stationary weapons, the whole thing like that. Okay? So we'll get out here. Now, I didn't do a good example of showing you view distance. Here will be an excellent opportunity. Player menu. You can have near, medium. You'll notice that more detail at a distance showed up. You can go far. That's even more. And insane. And now you see, we can see all the way up to those hills. We'll just switch it back to medium. If you're flying in a jet, then obviously you would probably want insane. It all depends on how good it's running on the server. There's all sorts of vehicles in every town, all sorts of objects. There are random weapons crate spawns. And you notice that this stationary machine gun, you can disassemble it and put it in your backpack, or you can load it in the vehicle, or even move it around, take it back to your team's base and move it around. Now you can't walk at a fast pace with this. You have to actually double tap your shift, and this is with any object that you're carrying. Double tap your left shift so that you are walking. And you can still look around. And then place the object. And voila, you're back to normal. Now you can lock this object as well. Scroll the mouse wheel down, lock this object. So that'll lock it in place. It takes a few seconds to lock it, and that means nobody can move that away from that position. Either lock it so people in your own team don't keep moving it around on you, and it'll keep the opposing teams such as Op Force and Independent from moving it on you, because to unlock this object takes a long time, as you are seeing the countdown here. So the more chances of them getting caught are greater, and allowing you to kill them while they're trying to steal something. And of course, if you want to cancel it, you just scroll your mouse wheel, cancel action, and it'll cancel unlocking the object. You can do this with the buildings, the walls that you put in place. Obviously, if you start building a base, you don't want people to start moving your walls around. And of course, the buildings that you carry back to your base. Now, once your team and other teams start getting helicopters and that, the vehicles that you park in your base are going to be visible from the sky, and your team is visible. You can pick up camo nets and place them over objects such as walls or whatnot, or even over your vehicles. So if we stand back here in between two vehicles, say I got another vehicle, I can go to my player menu, and you'll notice that I have one camo net. You can only carry one camo net at a time. Use that object, and it'll place the camo net up, so it's harder to detect the vehicle from the sky. And it'll give you a nice shady spot to park your car. You can buy camo nets and med kits and all that at the general store. As you'll notice, there are general stores all throughout the map, and there are also gun stores as well. Gun stores, you can buy guns, weapons, ammo, GPS, that sort of idea. In the general store, you can buy medic water, food, and a whole bunch of other toys that you can see. Now off to the right here, you'll see there's a main objective. An immobile helicopter has been immobilized. Go get it for your team. Now this message will pop up for everybody on the server. So if you look at your map, you'll see the immobile helicopter is right there. That means Blue Force are going to be trying to get that helicopter. Op Force are going to be trying to get that helicopter. And the Independents, if they want, will be going after that helicopter. So that means everybody's going to be going after that helicopter. So that could end up being one huge battle. Now, to make matters even better, there are also super AI guarding this object. There can be anywhere from 4 to 16 AIs guarding a mission. Now, these are super AI. They are not your normal AI, which stand there and do nothing. They can track you. Once they get a bead on you, they will make advanced maneuvers. They will try to flank you while a couple of others try to distract you. They have great accuracy, and they have a tendency to hide after you've been discovered. So be very wary of them. There is a cop car here. So if you scroll your mouse wheel at the back of a cop car, you'll notice he has hot wings and beer. You can grab them, grab a beer, take some hot wings. And what that does is add food and water into your player inventory menu. Okay. Now you start out with $2,000. You'll notice down in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, my health is 98%. My water is 90%. Food is water. Or food is 90%. And I have $2,000 cash on me for buying weapons and for buying items at the general store. Now, if you find a bunch of items that you don't need, such as water and camo net and this stationary gun, you can take them, or not the stationary gun, but the weapons in the back of this vehicle, for example. You can take them, load them up in a big Euro, have a ton of weapons in there. You can take them to the weapons store and sell them all for more cash. Also about vehicles, to keep one group from hogging all of the vehicles at their base. They can go around city to city and steal all the vehicles and helicopters. To keep that from happening and to make it fair for everybody, after I do believe a full minute or an hour, I forget which I programmed in now, but you'll find out. If that vehicle is considered abandoned, it hasn't been driven or touched in an hour, that vehicle will respawn at its original location with its original kit, such as a weapon in the back and magazines, that sort of idea. So that is just to keep the server populated with vehicles so it's fair for everybody. Vehicles that you win in a mission, they do not respawn. You keep them for as long as the server is up and running. And the server is going to be up and running from Friday night until Sunday night on the weekend of the 21st. The day of play is actually the day of the 21st, but if you want to come in and start building your team's base, or just get a feel for how the controls work and the options work, then you can join in on Friday night. And if you have a lot of fun on Saturday and want to continue playing, then I'm going to leave the server up and running until late Sunday. And you can join in, you can bring your friends, and just have a fun old time. Now, keep an eye out in the backyards. Items are often hidden in backyards or in under trees, so they're hard to spot. Like this was hard to spot, but I can carry this, and I can load it in a vehicle and take it back to my headquarters for a wall or a ramp, whatever I want. So all sorts of items. I think I covered mostly everything now, or all the basics, to get you into the game and playing. I'm just going through this for people who are not used to Wasteland. Everybody's playing DayZ or their own missions on Arma 2. Make sure you check the backyards, scroll menus. There's another wall over there that you can take. There's some placements that you can load in your vehicles. Just, if it doesn't come up at first, try standing in a new location, such as move this object. I can move it around and release the object. And I can load that in a vehicle. Alrighty? So every city and village on this map has objects and vehicles. So there's plenty to go around and plenty resources to build your base. Just got to keep your eye out for them, because some of them do hide. Now to bring a water supply and food supply back to your base and lock it there so that as you go out to go on a mission, everybody can load up on food and water. Then there are blue barrels spawn randomly in cities, and food tables, which randomly spawn in cities. There's a food table there. You can take them back. You can load them in vehicles, take them back to your base and lock them down. And right now I'm going to eat something and drink something just so you can see. I want to use a canned food. I'm eating. And go back to my player menu. Drink a can of bottled water. Okay, so once you have this table of food brought back to your base, everybody can load up. I can take canned food, and you'll notice in the upper right hand corner, it still has 19 cans of food in it. So your whole squad can load up on food before they go out on a mission. It's nice to have a couple of these and a couple of the barrels of water. And as you see, that was hard to spot. It's hidden in the backyard. So you can't just drive down the center of town and think you see everything. Look around. Same as that machine gun was underneath that tree, so it was hard to spot right away. Alrighty? So you cannot say you want money. You cannot keep killing yourself and then respawning and finding your grave and then picking up the money and whatnot. That doesn't work. The first minute or 3 minutes of respawning, you can't drop money. And after 3 attempts, then you won't be able to drop money, and it'll actually start to punish you. Such as the next time you spawn in, you will only have 30% health, you will have no food and no water. And it may even take all of your money. So that's another part of the cheat mechanism. Be wary. I respawn. You'll notice a grave shows up where I died. So just say another person killed me. And it'll bring you back to the spawn menu. Now if there were players in towns, all the towns that were occupied by us would show up. And remember, we placed a beacon. Oh no, I dropped a beacon. I didn't place it. But that's there as well. And you got random ground spawn, randomly spawns you on the ground, or random halo jump. I enjoy the halo jump because I can take a look around the map to see where I am spawning and go for it. That's Cherno over there, I do believe. So let's try to get over there. Open parachute. Get on dry land. Okay. So one might think the size of Cherno, there's going to be tons of stuff. It's not based on the size of the city. It's just random spawn points in the cities for vehicles and construction materials. So don't expect to find a vehicle on every street corner in Cherno or the larger cities. And you'll know some of the smaller villages seem to have more. Well, it's just because there's less buildings to hide things behind. That sort of idea. There's a blue barrel of water that I was talking about earlier. Oh yeah, this time, because I dropped that beacon, it didn't show up. So now, go into the player menu, and notice I don't have my secret backpack anymore. You only have that for your first life. So because I died, either because of my own stupidity, trying to cheat and do respawn, or I was killed by an enemy or an AI, I lose that. So the aim is to keep alive as long as possible on the first life. That way you can carry two primary weapons. So I go to player menu, spawn beacon. I want to use it, not drop it. And as you see, I am placing my spawn beacon up. So now anybody on my side, such as Blue Force, will be able to spawn on my spawn beacon. So if you create a Blue Force main base, obviously you want a spawn beacon there. And then any temporary bases that you do, or smaller bases, it's handy for one of your other players to drop their spawn beacon. Now because I dropped the spawn beacon, if I die and rejoin a server, I'll have another spawn beacon. But I cannot deploy it because you're only allowed one spawn beacon deployed per player. So if I want to spawn my new one, I either have to disassemble that one or destroy it. Oh yeah, I was going to show you that menu. And it does take time for either one. So I can destroy it or repack it. So if you run across an enemy spawn beacon out in the middle of the field near your base, you can destroy it. Keeps them from trying to spawn kill. And of course, got your barrel of water. And same as all the other objects, I can move this. I can load it into a vehicle, take it back to the base, release it, and I can even lock it down. Okay. So, I think I covered everything, or just the basics anyway, to help you get into the game and enjoy it right away. I can siphon gas if I want. Actually, let's look in the gear. Maybe we'll be lucky. Oh, this one's only got a weapon. And because I don't have my secondary backpack, I can't carry two weapons. Sucks. But oh well. If you find you have extra medic kits, you can drop one of your medic kits. Drop a medic kit. Player menu, grab a medic kit. Only if you have extra, I would do this. Drop. Close that menu. And you'll notice there is a small backpack there. I can take it. And now in my gear, I have the check vest pouch. So I can carry some more magazines. Or if we go out collecting night vision goggles for the whole team to bring them back into a team base, so that as you die and respawn, you can come back to your base and get new night vision goggles, and that's fine. Warning, remember, do not store things in vehicles. Grab yourselves an ammo crate. If you find one, put that at your base and store things in it. Because remember, vehicles respawn after they haven't been touched for a while. And you lose everything that you were storing in that vehicle. So if you have 10 pairs of night vision goggles, do not store them in a vehicle. Store them in a ammo crate or something like that. Okay, abandoned truck. That'll be handy for your group. And that's a vehicle that will not respawn if you capture it. And you look at the map to see where it is, and all the basic Arma 2 options show up. such as placing a waypoint. Left shift click. And I now have a waypoint. Alrighty. So just cover off once more. I'll respawn. I got a grave. If I come back here, I'll be able to pick up my weapon and everything. I think that I got the graves lasting 30 to 45 minutes. After that, the grave will go away, but the money will stay there. Now, if I click on beacons, you'll see my beacon that I used right there. So I'm going to spawn on that beacon. It's always a halo jump. Maybe I can get more into the center of town. And open chute. Oh, do not land in the water. That's the advantage of having steerable parachutes. Try to fall short. And there we go. Now, on top of the main missions that pop up, there are also random items, such as helicopters and planes that show up all throughout the map, and they are not marked. So if you go driving down a main road, or even a side road for that matter, and come across, say, an open area, watch out. If AI spot you, they're going to blow the shit out of you, because they're guarding that random helicopter or random helicopter crash. Around them, if it's a helicopter, it is workable. If it's a crashed helicopter, there are weapons crates there. So it's invaluable to get all that stuff for your team. And in the cities as well, there are random weapons crates that spawn all over. You just have to find them. Remember, some of them are hidden, not really hidden, but not out in the open. They're in behind buildings, under trees, that sort of idea. So you got to keep your eyes open. So this is, in a way, sort of like DayZ, only without the stupid zombies. Alrighty. Now, as long as this server is up and running for the entire weekend of the 21st, you can rejoin back into the same squad. If you build a base, that base will stay there until the server is rebooted. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment. If you want to join in the server, join us on the 21st. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy playing with us. Keep having fun.